Hey friends, welcome to my gear video. By the time any of you see this, I will already be out on the trail. I know most people do a pre-trail announcement and gear video, and well, I didn't get around to that in time. But nevertheless, it's probably the biggest question that I see all long distance hikers get asked is, what gear are you using and carrying, etc. I'll talk a lot about my gear as I hike, I'm sure, but I still thought I would do one of these traditional gear videos. As you can all see, if you have found my YouTube channel, I am hiking under the trail name Manzo, and I am attempting to thru-hike the Appalachian Trail. I'm starting in 6 days. In fact, I did my last shakedown hike this morning, trying out a couple of last minute pieces of gear, and as I prepare for what looks like it's going to be a pretty cold start to my hike here in North Georgia. This is 10 years in the planning, this hike. As most of you know, I started planning it 10 years ago. I didn't expect that I would plan it for 10 years, but along the way, life does what life does, and I kept pushing it back a year, and then a year, and then a year, and here we are. Here we are in 2026, starting my my long-planned hike. Let's get into it. I know these videos can get really long. I'm going to try to keep this one kind of short and move through things fairly quickly if I can. I'm going to start with the numbers. Everybody always wants to know the numbers. All the weights I'll talk about today are all measured myself. Even if I'm talking about gear weight, I didn't take the manufacturer's reported gear weight. I weighed it on my own scale. I will start out next week with a base weight of 23.2 pounds. I'm carrying some cold weather penalty, I guess you could call it, which I'll trade out when the weather gets nicer, and I'm pretty sure I'm out of the snow and the cold weather. But that 23.2 pounds is my base weight, no food and water, including cold weather gear. With food and water this morning, I was 25.4 pounds with 2 liters of water and 5 days of food. I am fully packed here to start. I know normally people will lay their gear all over the floor and go through it that way. I thought it would be maybe as interesting, easier for me to just unpack my bag and talk about my gear as I go. Let's get into it. I'll start with what I'll be wearing on the trail. The shoes I'll be wearing will be the Topo's Ultra Venture 4. I actually have them on here, but I've got a second pair ready to go. I really like this shoe, the Ultra Venture 4, and I have tried just about everything. I've hiked with the Merrill Moab and the North Face Hedgehog and Ultra Lone Peaks. I've tried lots of different heavy shoes, light shoes, and I really just couldn't find one that fit or was comfortable until I put on these Topos, the Ultra Venture 4, and I really like them, and I've been wearing them for a few months now. It's one of the last pieces of gear I was able to get taken care of. For trekking poles, I will be carrying the REI Flash Carbon trekking poles. Just got these relatively recently. I got them on sale at REI. I think I got a pretty good deal. They were $129. And the pair of them weigh 13 ounces, which is quite a bit lighter than my prior poles. I really like the one-piece rubber handle. I've used poles before that have cork and then a plastic cap and they give me blisters. Anytime the materials would come together, I would get blisters. So I really like the one-piece handles. So that's my trekking pole. For socks, I will be wearing Darn Tough socks. Nothing too exciting there. I do like Injinji liners, so I'll wear the toe socks underneath my Darn Tough socks. The shorts I'll be wearing are just running shorts. They're actually called Easy Run, I think. Easy Run shorts. They're just Amazon shorts, maybe $20 a pair. They have a liner in them. I really like that. For a shirt, I'll just be wearing, not this shirt. This is just a t-shirt I'm wearing, but I will be wearing a wicking, just a black dry fit, some sort of wicking t-shirt. My hat is the Tilly Airflow, a gift from my kids for a Father's Day a few years ago, and it's been a really terrific hiking hat. I will be wearing a couple of knee braces. I've got very bad knees. I know it sounds silly for somebody planning to go hike 2,200 miles on bad knees, but I'm going to give it a try. But I will be wearing these Physics compression knee braces. Thank you to Scott Christie from Hyperlight Mountain Gear. I was talking to him this summer and then again recently, and he suggested these. I've been wearing them to hike and walk for the past couple of weeks since I got them, and they seem to be a really, really great addition to my gear. They just, I think the compression helps with swelling, and they just generally make my knees feel much better when I'm hiking. This is part of my winter penalty. I will start my hike with a pair of fleece-lined joggers. I was using just a pair of REI hiking pants or joggers, but in cold weather, they're just not quite enough. So I'll start the trail. At the end, I'll kind of go over my cold weather penalty, but these are fleece-lined pants. They're called Bayleaf. Again, I do a lot of my shopping on Amazon. These were $37 on Amazon. Bayleaf fleece-lined joggers, and they do a real nice job keeping my legs warm. I'll be wearing this Casio watch. It is not a super fancy watch by any means. Doesn't connect to my phone, doesn't measure my my heart or anything like that. But it is a pretty nice hiking watch. It's the Casio SGW 1000. It was about 90 bucks, I think, on Amazon. And it's got a lot of nice hiking functions that I like. It's got some altitude measurement and compass, and you can track hikes and high points and low points altitude-wise, etc. So it's a very functional hiking watch. Okay, I will be carrying the Hyperlight Mountain Gear Unbound 55-liter pack. I've got a lot of Hyperlight Mountain Gear equipment here. I want to say a special thanks to Mike St. Pierre and Dan and everybody at Hyperlight Mountain Gear. They've really been fantastic. I'm from Maine, so I was up in Maine this summer and went by and visited, met Mike and Dan and everybody there, and Mike spent probably 3 or 4 hours with me getting me fitted properly with the gear and testing how things pack. I had all of my old gear with me. I'll probably do another video on my old gear because one of the things that's really interesting, I practiced all of my hiking with what I would call old cheap gear, almost 100% on Amazon. I think I completely outfitted myself with older gear for under $1,000, maybe $800, which I think is a great way to decide if you want to do a hike like this or not. I caught them on a great sale. They were having a summer sale, which helped me out a lot because I bought a lot of gear. And a lot of people complain that their gear is expensive. But first of all, it's fantastic gear, and I'm glad I'm hiking with it. And second, I'm glad I caught them on their summer sale. So I will also be hiking with a fanny pack. The main reason I'm going to hike with a fanny pack is I'm just not flexible enough to reach back and get in and out of my side pockets, my water bottles, if I have anything that I want to reach. I tend to almost dislocate my shoulders every time I try to do that. So I went with the fanny pack. I tried a lot of different packs, including the Hyperlight Mountain Gear pack. Sorry guys, I did not go with that one. This pack here is called the NOLA fanny pack, very cheap. I think it was $20 on Amazon, N-O-O-L-A, I think. But I really like it. It's got a lot of zippered pouches. I really like the way I can put a small bottle up front in this little carry pouch here, just for drinking as I'm hiking. It's got, I'll put my phone and my iPods up front there. It's got a big center pouch here, which I'll fill with snacks, and my tripod, which is holding my camera, my phone right now. It's got a zippered back pocket here, which I'll have my wallet in it to keep that safe there. I really like it, and it's got some side pouches as well. I've got, I'm able to put some bear spray over here in a side pouch. This is Vexor bear spray. I've got a knife that I keep right in there, which is just a cheap, it's called Kershaw, made by Kershaw. Very light, again, another Amazon purchase, maybe $15 on Amazon. And I've got some Ben's bug spray and suntan lotion and lip stuff that I keep right in the front. So for me, a fanny pack, of course I'll wear it backwards, I'll wear it in front, is a great way for me to keep everything I need handy and not dislocate my shoulders. Okay, let's look at the outside of the pack. The pack is the Hyperlight Mountain Gear 55 liter, the Hyperlight Mountain Gear Unbound 55 liter. I love it. I love this pack. Super light. For me, the pack weighs 1.8 pounds. Again, that's my weight on my scale. And the other pack I was using for all the years that I was practicing was almost 3 pounds. So I shaved 1.2 pounds just with the pack there, which my knees really appreciate. Let's see, on the strap side here, I will carry the Garmin InReach Mini 2. I actually bought that on eBay. It's a model year or a model older than their most recent, but plenty functional for me. And if you're ever looking for hiking gear that people aren't using anymore, I think I got this for $150 on eBay. Somebody who had bought it, used it once, and just didn't need it anymore. So, pack towel over here, just a standard cheapo pack towel. On the strap here, I think I'm on camera. I've got some hand sanitizer, a little cheapo LL Bean thermometer, in case I just want to glance whether I'm hiking or waking up in the morning and just quickly see what the temperature is. In the hip belt pockets, I keep in the right-hand pocket, I know you can't see me right now, but I'm going to pull it out. In the right-hand pocket is my poop kit. I'm not going to talk too much about the poop kit. It's kind of a too much information topic. Cute little kit here. I got a bunch of little kits from Hilltop Packs that make things easy to spot. They're different colors. In the poop kit is exactly what you'd expect. Some toilet paper, some wipes. I've got the Apex Giant trowel. It's nice and small, but it does the job. 6 inches, fits really nicely in here. Can't remember how much it was, but it was not too much. That trowel was relatively cheap. In the other hip front pocket, I'm going to keep, some of you will question this, but I'm going to keep my bathroom kit. Some of you are going to say, why would you keep that in such important real estate like a hip belt pocket for easy access? And the main reason for me and my bad knees is pills. I've learned when I hike that a couple of times a day. I'm going for Tylenol or Advil or something, or at night when I get in bed, or first thing in the morning when I wake up, and having this buried in my backpack or in some other pouch was a real drag. So I just keep it right in my hip belt pocket so I can get at it. Of course, everything else in here is what you'd expect. My toothbrush and toothpaste are in here, a little Dr. Bronner's soap. So it really is my bathroom kit, my toiletries kit, but I keep it in my front hip belt pocket. Okay, let's look at the other side here, the front. On the front, I love the design of the Hyperlite mountain gear Unbound. It's got a stretch pouch like most backpacks do of some sort. It's also got a smaller pouch down here. I think I'm off camera, but a smaller pouch. I'm going to go through each of those, starting with that bottom smaller pouch. I keep my gloves for quick access. This is another winter penalty. These are a little bit heavier. I've got a lighter pair of liners, but I bought these. These are Simari, S-I-M-A-R-I, and they were $15 on Amazon, but they're a little extra rubber, a little extra liner. They keep my hands warmer. I was out this morning in 34-degree weather here in Nashville, and these kept my hands, you know, once I'm hiking, they're plenty warm. They keep me nice and warm. The other thing that I don't have, I took them out a few minutes ago. I was playing with them and I forgot to put them back in here, but I am going to carry micro spikes, at least to get me, we'll see, through the Smokies and into Virginia. And I bought a pair off of Amazon for $22 called Zux and Zux, Z-U-X, Zux and Zux. They're just slip-on, strap-on micro spikes. A number of people I talked to said they were very glad they had them, especially if I get a lot of snow and ice in the Smokies. Okay, in the stretch pocket, here's what I'm going to keep there. Raincoat. This is the REI Rainier raincoat. I bought this, again, pretty recently. It's quite a warm raincoat. I have a very light raincoat that I'll switch out to later in the spring, but the REI Rainier I've worn it in heavy rain, and of course, at the end of the day, you can't keep yourself completely dry, but this kept me mostly dry, hooded, pit zips, etc. I think I got a really good deal on it. It was on sale at REI. I think I paid about $80 or $85. That's another thing I'll swap out a little bit later on the trail. I was up in Maine a couple of weeks ago and went to LL Bean and got this really great quarter zip thermal mid-layer. It is the LL Bean Venture Stretch quarter zip. I got it off of a sale rack at LL Bean out of a sale tent for $27. I thought that was pretty awesome. So that'll be my mid-layer. And then I have another Amazon special. I love this piece of gear. It is just a thin hooded pullover sun hoodie, I think is how they refer to it. This was another, it's made by Roadbox. It's called Roadbox. I bought it on Amazon it was a gift actually. My kids got this for me. Those three things will sit in my outside pouch and go on and off as I layer and need to. In one side pouch over here, I'll keep water. I'm not going to talk about that, but I'll take those out. A couple of liters of water. In the other side pouch over here, on the side of the pack, I'll keep my water kit. This is the Katadyn Be Free filter and 6-liter bag. This is my filter of choice. I've tried them all. I love the flow rate of the Katadyn. It's easy to use and works for me. So, okay, strapped to the top. I've got two things here I'll talk about. Here's one of my comfort items. I know ultralighters are not going to like this, but I am going to carry a chair. This is the Helinox Chair 1. Weighs 1 pound. So I'm taking a 1 pound penalty to carry a chair. Half the people tell me I'm going to love it. Half the people tell me it'll be gone by Neil Gap. We'll see. I really enjoy getting to camp and setting up my chair and not sitting on the ground or not sitting on a stump or whatever. So I will carry the chair. And I've got a little sit pad here, another Amazon special. This is just a mini sit pad. This one is called the Fauché Stadium sit pad. And it was $12 on Amazon. So those things will be quick. If I want to take a break and sit, and I do want to sit on a log, I'll use the sit pad. If I want to set up my chair, it takes 30 seconds to set up that chair. So, all right, let's get inside and see what's inside here. I actually did take things out and move them around a little bit when I got back from my hike, so this isn't exactly my packing order, but mostly. First aid kit is here. This will normally be packed a little bit further away than sitting right on top, but as I said, I played around with it a little bit when I got home. Got some Body Glide, got some medication, I've got my backup water plan, some drops for the water. I've got a little Altoid tin here, and inside the tin I've got little scissors, nail clippers, tweezers, earplugs, just a few other things there. And of course I've got a little baggie of first aid stuff, bandages, antiseptic wipes, ointments, moleskin, blister treatment, just a small sampling of stuff I would need there. And I think that's it in my first aid kit. Electronics kit, I've got in a 2-liter Hyperlight mountain gear bag, a dry zip bag. And in here, of course, I've got my charging block and the cables I need to charge anything electronic. I am going to carry two 10,000 milliamp battery banks. One is an Anchor, one is a Belkin. I'm carrying two different ones, don't ask me why. They've been working great for me. I did notice I carry an iPhone 17, it's what I'm videoing on right now, and these newer phones are requiring a lot more battery power. I think I used to charge my iPhone 14 or 13 or whatever I had last 5 times maybe with a 10,000 milliamp. Now I'm getting 3 charges on the iPhone 17, not even really 2.5. So 2 of these will give me 4 or 5 days of charge. Should be enough to get me where I'm going. Of course, I've got my headlamp in here. This is the Foxelli headlamp, probably not the lightest one I could use, but this one's worked great for me. And another comfort item I'm carrying, a little rechargeable fan. Jisu Life, I think, Jisu. It's rechargeable. I carry this for 2 reasons. One, camping in the summer, it's nice to keep a little bit of air moving, especially if I've got to zipper down my tent for rain or whatever. It keeps some air moving, that's really nice. But I've also found it really effective in the winter. I put this up by the peak of my tent by a vent and vent out. And it keeps some of that warm, moist air that will end up as condensation moving out of the tent. So that system has worked really well for me. So I will carry a little fan, at least until I decide not to. Another winter weight penalty. This is the Litume, L-I-T-U-M-E, Litume fleece bag liner. I like to sleep in a liner. I have a 100% polyester super light liner that I use in warmer weather, but I learned recently sleeping right around 20 degrees. I'll talk about my quilt in a minute. But right at 20 degrees, I found I needed a little bit more warmth. So this fleece bag liner by Latoum has been a great thing. This is, I bought it very recently on Amazon for $61. It's got, again, a little bit of a weight penalty. I think this is 18 ounces, a little bit more than a pound. And I think my 100% polyester liner is 10 ounces maybe, so this is a 6 or 7 ounce penalty. Okay, next going in here, I use the Hyperlite Mountain Gear pod system, which I really, really like. This is my food bag. It is the 13-liter pod. And inside of here, I've got every day's food, 5 days of food. I like to put my food by day into Ziploc bags. So I've got a Ziploc bag for a day, breakfast and lunch and dinner. I've got a Horizon Outdoor koozie, bought on Amazon, probably $5 or $10. Lots and lots of snacks in here. I've got my spoon, and my cook kit is in here, which I'm going to open up for you in just a second. And I've got my bear hang bag, a little Hilltop Packs bear hang bag with their dog bone. And if you're not familiar with that, I'd suggest you look into it. It's a really great system with the cord, the bag, a carabiner, and this little thing called the dog bone to do what's called the PCT hang, the PCT bear bag hang. And I found it easy and quick, and I really like it. So that's the food bag. Again, inside my food bag, I told you I have my cook kit. Here it is. This is another Amazon special. I did a lot of my gear shopping on Amazon. This is the G4Free cook kit. It's got a pot and a cup, which I really like. I did go ahead and get the Sea to Summit collapsible coffee cup. I'm a coffee drinker in the morning, and I love this cup because I can heat up some water, pour myself a cup of coffee. One thing I learned about this is the cover. If I made my coffee in this, the whole thing was scalding hot, burned my lips, even if I got one of those little lip things. So make my coffee in here, make my breakfast in here or in a bag or whatever. In here, I've got my stove, the BRS 3000. It's been a great little stove, weighs almost nothing. I got it, I think it was $17 on Amazon. Lighter in here, fuel canister fits in there really nicely. And as you can see, it all goes together really nicely to make a nice cook kit there. That's the cook kit. Okay, next we've got the tent. It's the Hyperlite Mountain Gear Unbound 2-person tent. I love this tent. It's super light and has kept me warm and dry. It's 1.4 pounds, packs down really small. Inside, you can't really see, I'm not going to open it up, but I've got Hyperlite Mountain Gear ultralight tent stakes. They can't be more than a couple of ounces total. So I love the Unbound 2-person tent. Next, we have got another Hyperlite Mountain Gear pod. This is another 13-liter pod. This is my clothing bag. And so in here, we have my additional clothing, another comfort decision I make, which again, I'll take some criticism for, but that's okay. I am bringing 3 sets of clothing. So 3 sets of shirt, shorts, socks. One is going to be exclusively for sleeping, which I think most people agree with, so I'll always have something dry to sleep in. But I am carrying 2 sets to hike in. So if I have a day where it rains and I get soaked, at least for one rainy morning, I'll get warm clothes. Now, I know a couple of rainy days, everything in the whole world is soaked and you just muscle through wearing cold, frozen clothes. But I am going to carry 2 sets of hiking gear, at least until I don't. I've got my my puffy jacket in here. This is an REI puffy. I got it a long time ago at an REI garage sale. I didn't pay very much for it. I think I paid about $70 for it, so that was pretty good. I've got a bag here with all of my cold weather gear all in here. So in here I've got down pants. I bought a pair of down pants. Again, that's something I tested on my most recent hike here. It looks like I'm going to start my hike in North Georgia in teens weather. Teens, I hope not single digits. But so I got a pair of down pants. These are called Nature Hike. Again, I got them on Amazon by Nature Hike, $52. I've got down booties in here. Those I did get from Outdoor Vitals. I think they were $45, and a few other things for really, really cold nights. Otherwise, I've just got an REI beanie in here for sleeping, cork ball for the night, weighs almost nothing, maybe $5 on Amazon. A lot of people seem to think rolling out your arches and your feet and your long muscles are a good idea. And again, just extra clothing. That's the clothing bag. All right, we're getting to the bottom here. Next is another pod. This is the 10-liter pod, the 10-liter end, I forget what they call this, but it's the 10-liter pod. It's got the quilt in it, the Unbound 20-degree quilt. I've never been a quilt person until this past summer. I love this quilt. I just love it for its flexibility. I love it for all the reasons that you don't want insulated material getting packed down under you. I mentioned I was out in 20-degree overnights, and I think this bag is rated exactly where it should be. At 20 degrees, I was not in any danger. I was not terribly comfortable. I was cold. At 28 degrees and 30 degrees and 35 degrees, I sleep great with the Unbound 20-degree quilt. So that's that bag. And another comfort item I'm going to talk about for a second. I'm really going to get some flack for this one. This is a pillow. This is an actual My Pillow, the My Pillow travel pillow. It's in a Hyperlight Mountain Gear dry stuff sack. It's down at the bottom of my pack. I want to make sure it stays dry. I've tried every inflatable pillow, every plastic pillow. I've tried every stuff sack. I've tried stuffing my clothes into stuff sacks. I've tried sleeping my head on my backpack. I like a real pillow, so I'm gonna sleep with a real pillow, the My Pillow. And last but not least, at the bottom of my pack is my sleep pad. This is the Kilos Gear Aero Cloud. Pretty cost effective. I think it was about $120. I like this one because of its size. It's inflated. It's 72 inches long, 26 inches wide, and 4 inches thick. This is another comfort item for me, both in terms of the thickness, it's quite comfortable, but also the width. It doesn't taper at either end. I move around a lot when I sleep, and I got tired of rolling over and waking up with one arm or one leg on the floor of my tent because it was so thin. The R value on this is good, but not great. I think it's 5. I think the R value of this is 5. In my cold sleeping, the ground has not been my problem. So I'm going with this. And in the Unbound 2-person tent, I've got room for it at 26 inches wide. So I'm really liking this. And it comes with the inflate inflatable, the inflating sack where you fill the sack with air and then roll it down, so I'm not blowing this up at night. So I really like it. The Kilos Gear AeroCloud is my pad. I think that's everything. So I hope you've enjoyed my gear video. I hope you'll follow along with my hike. Again, you've found this video, so you found my channel, so I hope you'll subscribe. Manzo Walking Home is what I'm calling it, because I said I'm from Maine, so I'm considering this a 2,200 mile walk home. So hope you'll follow along. Thanks.